And welcome to Huron High School for tonight's girls matchup. It's Huron and Saline. Kevin, we got a big matchup here. We got a top-ranked team in the state. Number 9 is Huron. Saline's looking to come in and upset on the road. What's the big matchup tonight?
Well, for the Saline Hornets, they're going to have to slow down the Huron defense. That's the number one when you're facing the Huron River Rats over the past 10 years, really. Skyline and Saline played last week to a very close game, and the Hornets came away with the win. They're looking to double up in Ann Arbor again tonight, Pete.
Should be a great matchup. We're going to take a quick break and be back with action right here on CTN Sports. And welcome to Huron High School. It's Saline Hornets taking on the Huron River Rats. We're about to tip it off. I'm Pete Porter along with Kevin Bryant. Kevin, how you doing? Opening up this 2018 Game of the Week right here.
Well, it's been a long time coming, but welcome back, right? I mean, getting a chance to call a team that, you know this, Pete, I went to school here, so it's always special when I get a chance to come back to the greenhouse and call a game. And then when we take a look on the bench for the Huron River Rats, we have a familiar face. You know, Hall of Fame coach Waleed Samaha is back in the house.
Wow, that's great for Huron.
Oh, and it's bad news for any opponent that's going up against the River Rats. I mean, that is a coach that not only knows about the X's and O's, but he really gets a lot out of all of his players. We'll see a lot of folks coming off of his bench because Waleed is not a guy that's shy as far as rotating players in.
Now we're underway. There's a jumper from the baseline. That's off the rim, no good. Corralled in the corner by Shamin Wambir. Back out top to Michaela Glenn. And Huron will work the offense once again. Moving around the perimeter. Now trying to get into the paint. Kick it back out for 3 to Glenn. And that's good to open the scoring. Huron takes the lead, 3-0.
Well, Michaela Glenn is one of the returning players that Coach Samaha is happy to have back on his roster. You know, he lost 2 Division I players. Well, he didn't, but the squad lost 2 Division I players from last year, Emily Marsh, as well as Cara Wilson, who really been 3-year, 4-year starters for the squad. So having to replace those and having a familiar face like Glenn helps bridge that gap.
Shot there blocked, knocked away, picked up by Huron. They'll bring it back down the floor.
You know, for the Rats, Eden Johnson, number 11. We saw her for the first time as a transfer from Skyline last year. Looking and expecting some big things out of her.
Cross-court pass. Now back out top to Glenn. Wambir down the lane. That's short, no good. She gets her own rebound, puts it back, and the layup is good. McGlenn picks up the steal and puts the jumper up and good. And with that, Saline's going to call timeout after a quick 7-0 start by the Huron River Rats.
Well, I'll tell you what, Pete, that's something that we have grown to know and expect when the River Rats are out on the court. You see Shamin Wambir, it's senior night too, with that, you know, is that one of those Moses Malone shots? You know, throw it up, grab the rebound, next thing you know, you got the bucket too.
Well, I don't think she's counting her rebounds, but did kind of look that way. But she did get her own rebound and got the putback and put it in.
Well, I'll tell you, it's a good sign for the River Rats when Wambert is getting aggressive. That's something the coaching staff really wants her to focus on this year, especially being a leader.
A nice steal by Huron, but goes right back to the Hornets down the floor. Shot is blocked by Eden Johnson.
Well, that's why people are really expecting big things out of Eden Johnson. She has a lot of skill, and she did a great job of not allowing her body to get into the Saline offensive player.
Now there's a whistle and a foul.
You can see Eden Johnson, she really timed it well, and it was really nice how she just put two hands in the air and went up for that block as opposed to swatting down.
Ella Stemmer will head to the line for 2 free throws. Hits the first one. And Stemmer, a freshman, is really the star of the Saline Hornet team.
Pete, we were talking about her before, and the way that Stemmer, she's putting all kinds of stats up for the Hornets, and just to be a freshman, that's amazing on this level. Good skip. Good idea there for the River Rats.
Turnover by the River Rats. Hornet ball. And as with any Samaha coach team, full court press is in action.
He doesn't allow teams to feel comfortable. He allows them, he takes them out of their comfort zone. And Coach Samaha, look at him right there at the bottom of the picture. He's still coaching the folks on the bench. And he always is going to talk about defense, defense, defense. These young ladies have a special opportunity to get some tutelage from a coach the caliber of Coach Samaha, as well as him learning from the Michigan staff in his year sabbatical while he was playing with the University of Michigan basketball team.
Well, Saline gets its first bucket of the game. And just like that, Huron from Johnson gets another bucket. And the River Rats lead at 9-3.
As a bad pass there by getting yourself in the corner by the Hornets.
Now Johnson's shot is knocked away by Saline.
Yeah,
Stemmer back down the floor. She's going to take it to the hole, off the glass, in and out, no good, but she gets the call and draws the foul. Now, one thing I've noticed about Stemmer right off the bat is very active on both ends of the floor.
Did you see that, though, with the handle? She has a nice handle with her left hand as well. That's, again, something that it's unaccustomed seeing from a freshman. On the girls' side, you see a lot of good shooting at a young age, but ball handling with your offhand, that's a good thing.
Hit the front end of the free throws. Here's the second one on the way. In and out, no good. Huron quickly back down the floor.
Good fake.
Three-pointer on the way. Off the rim, no good. Offensive rebound. Now race for the ball.
So Huron brings a solid new 4 players in, Pete. We were already talking about how Coach Samaha goes deep into his bench. It's odd to see Eden Johnson, though, out here beyond the arc. She's usually down on the box.
Huron moving it around on the perimeter. Trying to find an entry pass in the paint. They'll take the 3 from Patel. That's off the rim, no good. Offensive rebound is put back up and knocked out of bounds by Saline, so the River Rats will keep it on their end of the floor.
Patel, we saw her last year as a freshman on the Huron team, stepping up, coming off the bench now as 6th person for the River Rats.
Spin move by Johnson in the lane and gets the roll. And the bucket.
Move.
And nearly stolen away by the River Rats once again, but Saline will inbound it here on the sideline next to us.
It's a feisty defense that the River Rats put out there on a daily basis when Coach Samaha is on the bench.
Stemmer got the ball, and the Huron defense collapsed down on her. She gets it on the other side of the hoop and puts it up and in.
Even on the defensive side, you see Stemmer yelling out the set. That's something you don't see out of a freshman.
Another three-pointer on the way from Patel, no good. Johnson with the offensive board. Putback is no good.
Wow.
Knocked out of Johnson and out of bounds by Stemmer. Nice defensive play there.
Man, I'm really liking this Stemmer. She is a heady player, too, not just skilled. That's smarts.
And like you said once before, really kind of unusual to see out of a freshman.
Yeah, you wonder if a parent
nice pass there from Stemmer. Off the glass and good.
You wonder if Stemmer's parents or somebody was a coach. She just seems to have some coaching instincts in her.
That bucket by Leah Lawson for the Hornets. And they fought their way back to just down 3. Another Patel 3 is short. She gets it back, puts up a wild shot, draws the foul. Basket is no good.
Well, the Hornets come in getting back into the action. Good pass from Stemmer there down low. And a nice solid glass backboard shot, layup. That's the way you do it, man.
Well, the nice thing you saw is her go to the other side of the basket to prevent Johnson from going up with the block.
And that's because Johnson has been successful on a couple of those blocks.
Patel misses the first free throw. Patel off to a bit of a cold start here early on in this game. 2:16 to go here in quarter number 1.
Oh, she's got the shooter's mentality. You got to shoot yourself out of it, though.
Gets the second one to go. Huron up 4. Stemmer with the jumper from the free-throw line, and nothing but net.
This Saline team has a lot of fight in them.
Well, they're going to have to if they got to get through that press and all of the defensive roadblocks that the River Rats are setting up.
Well, and if Huron is going to sit behind the three-point line, they're going to make the life easy tonight's easy for the Hornets.
Baseline jumper is no good. Knocked away, picked up by Patel down the floor. Her shot is off the glass and good.
Maybe that'll help Patel find the back of the rim. I wondered if they saw that little walk. You saw that too. Even Stemmer can make a mistake, right?
Absolutely.
See Rena there all the way, and get a little English on that one to get it to go in. So the patient Saline defense is causing a lot of outside shots.
That three-pointer from Patel is good. Now, like you said, Kevin, she shot herself out of that.
Yeah, I think that layup had a long way to go with that.
There's a shot, no good. Rebounded by Huron. Back down the floor they come.
Good move.
That's a little fake show and go, and off the glass and in the hoop it goes.
Sienna Smith there. That was a nice shot.
Now Lawson will drive the baseline. She puts the shot up, and that one is in. Oh, offensive intensity picking up at the end of the first quarter here for both teams.
Yeah, but Coach Samaha cannot be happy with all of the buckets inside the paint from the Hornets. I'm guessing that's going to be a conversation at this break of this quarter.
Oh, Huron will play for the last shot. 10 seconds to go here in quarter number 1. Taking their time on the perimeter. 2 seconds. Long three-pointer from Patel is off the back of the rim, no good. And we end quarter number 1 with the River Rats with a 7-point advantage, 19-12 as we head to quarter number 2 right here on CTN Sports. And we're back underway here with quarter number 2. The Riverettes taking the 7-point lead. We have another quick timeout by Saline as they had a hard time inbounding that ball here on the near sideline. Again, very active defense by the Huron Riverettes, trying to cause turnovers rather, and prevent Saline from getting an easy bucket.
You know, and if I'm on the Saline side, I'm asking these officials to call some of these reaching ends. You can see the aggressive defense by the Riverettes, and they have a couple hands on a Saline player each time. But usually, officials are human too. They reward the effort and the energy that this Huron defense is exploiting.
Oh, ball inbounded, now trapped in the corner. And there's a steal by Patel. Down the floor she goes. Throws it up. Doesn't get the shot, but will draw the foul and head to the line for 2.
Elizabeth Sakara on the foul there for the Hornets. The sophomore trying to get back in the shooting lane and really caught herself in no man's land as Patel was pushing that ball up.
Patel hits the first free throw. And gets a second one to go as well.
Ever since that layup, Patel has looked a lot more comfortable.
Well, Saline works it down the floor, breaks the press, and another inside the paint bucket for Saline.
That was Bauer on some good footwork down low in the paint.
Well, they've been working that near baseline shot in the paint, and it has paid dividends for that Saline Hornet offense. And there's a rebound. And Patel just a little bit too over-effusive on defense there, and she will get the foul.
Yeah, that was not a smart play by Patel at all. She had no opportunity of getting the ball.
Good position by Saline. That shot is up, no good. Huron player knocked to the floor. No harm, no foul.
Well, there is a foul. So, some harm and a foul.
Just a little bit. Riverette basketball. And the Rats will go to work on offense.
Saline now extending their defense out some.
Long jumper. Corralled by the Hornets. Wild pass intercepted by Huron. Shot up no good. And it's going to stay Huron basketball.
This second unit for Huron is doing a better job of not settling for the outside shot. Taking the ball inside the paint.
Patel will bring it back out. Another jumper on the way. Off the rim, no good. Offensive board knocked away. Hornets will pick it up. That's Stemmer keying that down the floor. And easy bucket for Saline.
Nice find for Sweetland from Stemmerman.
All keyed by the defense by Stemmer on the other end of the floor.
Well, Stemmer with a nice pass, too. Really found lead the offensive player to the basket. It's a good job.
Well, Saline sticking with that zone. There's the jumper, no good. Hornets can't corral the rebound. Another three-pointer on the way. That one off the rim, no good. Another offensive board by Huron. Alexa Lyon with that offensive board.
And here we go with a whole new 5 for the Riverettes.
Hornets can't break the press. Johnson with the steal.
Ooh, I think Danny drug her foot there. And hopped.
And travel on DiGiovanni.
Hey, you can't fault Danny that time, though. I mean, they didn't call it the first time, so why not try it again, right?
Well, Stemmer gets the inbound pass. She's surrounded by 3 Riverette players. Now back out top once again. Active hands by that River Rat defense, nearly knocking it away. Now down the paint, off the glass, no good. Johnson will pick it up off the floor. She heads down the floor to the hole and scores the bucket.
Strong lay in there off of Johnson.
Another knock away by the River Rat defense. And a three-pointer on the way. That's off the front of the rim, no good. Picked up off the floor by the Hornets. Long jumper on the way. That's off the back of the rim, no good. Rebounded by Wambeer. She hands it to DiGiovanni, and she'll bring it up the floor. Hands it to Glenn. Now Glenn with a three-pointer on the way. That's off the mark. And a tie-up. Possession arrow is favoring the Hornets.
This five for the Riverettes have really brought some good energy. And then coming back in as the defensive stopper for Coach Samaha is Patel.
Patel with the three-pointer from the corner, nothing but net.
Defense, get out of here.
And the Huron lead is now 10. 4:15 to go. There's another near steal by the River Rat defense. Trapped on the sideline. And there's one of your reach-in fouls there on Michaela Glenn on the River Rats.
And right when we talk about Patel having the defensive mindset to come in and help out the team, she just steps behind the arc and knocks it down all twine.
Hornets will inbound. No ball in the corner, trapped by Huron.
Tough.
Knocked out of bounds by Glenn. That's a heady play there in the corner. That's a really kind of a bad pass into that corner because Huron was right there ready to trap.
Don't want to get in the corners of this defense.
Now Stemmer's shot is off the glass, no good. Offensive board by the Hornets. Huron really aggressive on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, and it may be a little bit of Leanne Rome, the coach for the Hornets, getting into the officials' ears as well, because they definitely are working the whistles a lot more this second period. Huron's already up to 5 fouls. 6.
Lawson tried to cut through 2 defenders to head to the hole. And it was closed off there, and she drew the foul. One more, and the Hornets will be in the bonus here.
And did they call that on Glenn that time? Yeah, that was the second one on Glenn for the reach.
Well, jumper is no good. Huron back down the floor. Once again, another change of personnel by the River Rats. Wambeer, her shot is no good. Finally, the Hornets get it over the timeline.
Not sure how they missed that travel.
Now fight for the ball. Again, tied up.
Players getting a little bit feisty, is what folks in my ear are saying. Yeah.
What do they say, chippy?
Well, either
Play
way.
getting a little chippy.
Well, that's what a big stingy defense will do.
Well, and it really frustrates the other team.
Yeah.
And then the other team starts getting upset, and that's when the aggression starts coming out on both teams.
Well, DeGiovanni, Danny right there, number 13, one of the seniors, senior night. She's letting it be known this is her house.
It's a shot no good, and another putback is no good. And Huron will calm it down and bring it down the floor patiently and set up their offense.
And this time the Hornets have gone man a little bit. Maybe it's a matchup zone, yeah.
There's the shot from Patel off the rim, no good. Quickly down the floor come the Hornets. Jumper from outside is off the back of the rim, no good. Patel will pick it up off the floor.
And Huron's got to get some more movement out of this offense right now.
Well, I think that matchup zone by the Hornets are lending itself to that, as the three is hit by Sienna Smith for Huron.
Well, and the fatigue factor is setting in for the Hornets. They don't have the deepest bench as the River Rats do, subbing in 5 at a time. And you can see the help on the defense was not there on that skip pass. That was a set shot. Good
Wambeer into the paint.
Good fade.
Turnaround jumper is good. And the Rats extend their lead to 15, 31-16.
And they're on a 10-0 run right now, the River Rats are.
Another steal, and Patel's shot is up and no good, but she will draw the foul.
I think that's the strategy of bringing in all 5, because you can really wear down the other team. And you've seen that so far here in this second period.
Patel hits the first free throw.
Once again, the wholesale changes from the Rats.
Second free throw is in and out, no good. Rebounded by Madeline Welch. Now ball into the corner once again.
You can see what Coach Samaha has done. He's really, in this second quarter, taken the ball out of Stemmer's hands, and she's been the facilitator as opposed to the finisher. And twofold. One, your best player isn't putting up points. Two, you're forcing other people that may be unaccustomed to shooting more. They're putting in that role now.
Sekarek at the free throw line. Misses the front end of the 1-and-1. Under a minute to go here till halftime. Picked up off the floor. Shot is up and no good. Now, play on the floor. Finally picked up by Glenn, and that's an over and back.
Why is that over and back when the other team touched it? You know, that's exactly what Coach Samaha went over to the official. I mean, the ball was tied up there. I'm a little bit confused on the call. Maybe we can get a little bit out of Coach Samaha at halftime. We had a little chat earlier in the year that we'll play. Find out some ins and outs of this defense he's deploying.
Well, ball into the corner. Trying to get it into the paint once again,
nice
and the shot is up and good by Stemmer with that shot. Now a three-pointer on the way. That's off the rim. No good. That's saved, picked up off the floor by Stemmer. Her bounce pass will bring it over the timeline. Now again, driving the baseline by the Hornets. And another foul called.
Michaela Glenn's third foul. She's going to have to take a seat now. And she's picked up 3 fouls in this period. A lot of good, aggressive defensive play, but you can't come away with the foul.
Well, definitely a lot more fouls called on the River Rats in this quarter. Final 10 seconds to play here till halftime. There's a pass off of a Hornet. Ball on the floor right in front of us here, and time will run out. And that's going to do it. Huron with the big 32-18 lead as we head to half. We're going to take a quick break and be back with more action right here on CTN Sports.
for the second consecutive year, there's a new face as head coach for Huron's women's team. Well, not really new. Back on a River Rat bench is Huron Hall of Fame coach Waleed Samaha.
When we talk about Huron, the expectations are always higher at Huron because we just demand more of ourselves. And the quality is always our greatest motivation. Is just we want to do things the right way. We want our kids to do things the right way on and off the court. And we want to compete at the very highest level. We're not afraid to compete. We're tough, we're competitive, and we're smart. It starts with Shamim as the senior, the most experienced player. She's battling an early season injury. She's going to be okay. But just her toughness, her intelligence, her leadership, her ability to score in the paint. She's a good rebounder. So it kind of starts with her. And then you've got Eden Johnson, who's a very talented young player. At the varsity level, I think she's got a year. Last year, she was her first time seeing action. Just learning to be a new player in a new role. Whenever you graduate players, everyone has to adjust to a new role. And then we've got 6 or 7 guards that are really battling for those, 3 or 4 spots. So trying to see how that competition plays out. And then you've got Danny and Michaela, who are seniors, veteran players who've been through all the battles and just counting on their leadership and their toughness. They're both really tough players. We have a lot of young players out there right now, and they're learning. They're going to be good too. It's just going to take some time. There's a learning curve. Plus, we're doing things differently than they did last year. So they're learning a new system, they're learning a new style of play, and they need to get experience. But we'll be good. Don't go anywhere. You're watching CTN Sports. Go Rats.
I just wish there was some place I could watch my favorite local TV shows. Whoa! Ah! Cool, where am I? I want to know! What is this place?
You are in a computer terminal.
Who said that?
I am the god of computers, electrical devices, and social media interfaces.
This is awesome!
I heard your wish and granted you access to my terminal.
Whoa, really? I've always wanted to be inside one of these things. So what's next?
Visit CTN's and the City of Ann Arbor's streaming and video on demand 82gov.org/watchctn.
This is awesome! What do I do there?
Here you can watch city meetings, community-produced programs, school board and education programming, and a whole lot more.
Yes! This is great!
The live streams include CTN's 4 channels: government, public, educational, and community. Just click the sidebar for the channel you prefer and click play.
There's 4 channels here. I can watch 4 channels. Cool.
For video on demand, go to youtube.com/CTN Ann Arbor to find your favorite show, scroll through the mini playlists, or simply use the search bar to type in the name of the program.
Are you kidding me? I wish I knew about this earlier.
Visit 82gov.org/watchctn for CTN live streams and video on demand.
That's great. Now I can go tell my friends once I leave. So, how do I get out of here?
Goodbye.
Hello? How do I get back to my life? I've got stuff to do. I mean, hello? Hello? Okay, I mean, I thought there'd be more to my life, but this is it?
We are back underway. Quarter number 3 is underway. Huron with a shot that was no good, went out of bounds, and Hornets got the ball. They will inbound here.
Well, Pete, that first half was a bunch of runs, and the River Rats ended that last second period on a run. See if they continue it here.
There was a nice pass to Stemmer. Her shot was off the glass good, and she drew the foul. And we'll head to the line to try and complete the three-point play.
It's a good cut there by Stemmer. And she's shown a good touch with both her left and right hands tonight.
Missed the free throw. River Rats up 12, now make it 14 with the quick bucket. And right through the middle into that press. Hornets turn it over. Now Johnson will drive the baseline and put her shot up and good off the glass for the River Rats. And we have a timeout on the floor. Saline calls timeout. Don't want Huron getting off to that quick start like they have here in the second half, pushing their lead to 16 points.
Yeah, the Rats got off to a 7-0 start before the Hornets came back, outscored them 16-14 in that in the first going into the second, and then the Rats extended that lead out to over 13 points going into the half. And you've seen a difference already out of Coach Samaha. He has told his team, we're living and dying on the outside. Let's get into the paint. And the first two possessions from the River Rats, you see Glenn breaking down the defense by aggressively getting into the paint and dropping off for easy layups. And that allows that Huron defense to set up their pressure without having to scramble.
And you see Coach Samaha really in his element there in that setting, giving the instructions to the girls as they head back out on the floor.
You can always catch us, Pete, on Twitter. Look at that. YouTube at /CTN.
And Facebook as well.
And Facebook, too?
Well, Hornets get it over the timeline, and traveling is the call. Well, Hornets, not a direct turnover, but kind of an unforced error by the Hornets, get that turnover for the River Rats.
Well, definitely coming out of a timeout, you'd like to be able to advance the ball at least across the half-court line.
Well, Rats will get set on offense. Jumper from outside is off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Wambier. Her putback is no good, but she puts it back again and gets the bucket to go this time and draws the foul.
Yeah, Wambier not only was quick off of her feet, but beating the Saline Hornet defender to the position and putting that ball back up. That was a great effort.
Well, it must be a real pleasure for Coach Samaha to have that nice inside presence like that Wambier provides.
And she understands her role. I have yet to see her get outside the paint and try shots. She's a foul shot, line, and in type of scorer.
Well, Hornets get it over the timeline. Down the floor they go. Jumper is partially blocked. Johnson will pick it up and head down the floor. Spin move into the paint, off the glass, no good. Rebounded by Stemmer. And a jumper, a three-pointer on the way. One of the first ones from Saline I've seen the whole game, and that one is no good, in and out.
Sweetland can shoot it, though. She has a good shot from behind the arc, so if any of the Hornets are going to see shooting it, it'd probably be her.
Well, Rats out to a 19-point advantage here. The Hornets are going to have to turn on the offensive jets here soon. And Johnson gets the entry pass, and she knows what to do with the ball and puts it into the hole. And the Rats extend their lead to 21. Another shot on the way. That one misses everything. Picked up by Saline. Now another one from outside. That's knocked out of bounds. It's going to be River Rat basketball. Another turnover for the Hornets.
And to set that play up, just before that, Wambert did a nice screen on Eaton Johnson's defender that allowed her to free her up like that.
Well, and the help side defense was just too late to help out. There's another steal, this time by Wambert. She's going to take it in and score it. Oh, it's off the rim, no good. Uncontested layup, and Wambert missed it.
Yeah, she can't believe it either. She's looking up at that rim like, how you going to do me like that?
I was so sure I already had it in the bucket.
Oh, you counted it. The score was changing the score on the on the scoreboard. Everybody, but she knew it too. She knew it. Wow,
nice work on the replay there. Now, wild shot by the Hornets is off the mark. Wambert, another one in and out, no good.
She's going to get it down. This time she was trying to old school finger roll. Forget using that backboard. You let me down last time.
Such are the breaks of the game, really. Now DiGiovanni trying to inbound it. Saline not presenting much of a target. Being active there. Get it into Patel. Wambert at the top of the key. Her jumper is off the glass and good.
They probably could have got a foul on that one as well, too, how she fought it through the defender to get it up off the glass. Wow. Really?
Another near steal called a reach-in on Huron.
That's
stay Hornet ball.
Let's see Wambert. Was this a foul? Nah. That was a good defense. Could have called it, but either way.
Wholesale change for the River Rats once again. Three-pointer on the way for Saline, and that's good.
Sweetland on the shot, and she shows after a little bit of see, Steph Curry, I think he's ruining the game. He ruins basketball. You don't have to show out after you shoot and make a basket. Act like you've been here before.
Head down the floor, start playing some D.
Yeah.
Four minutes to go here in quarter number 3. Huron with a big 20-point advantage, 43-23.
See Coach Samaha telling his players to calm down as they come to him in the huddle there. I think the younger players a little bit excited, trying to get on that stat sheet in a game like this, right?
Just a little overactive. There's a three-pointer from Saline. Nice shot by Sweetland. And the Hornets are going to need a lot more of that here in the second half to try and claw back into this game.
Yeah, they're really going to have to turn on the offense to really, and it kind of feeds into Huron's, approach as well when their opponents speed up because they play at such a crazy pace. This is one of the reasons Huron's been able to sustain so many wins over the past decade, as they get up on players and teams, and they're allowing their younger players to get varsity experience in a real live game as opposed to just watching.
Oh, ball being fought for on the floor. Finally picked up by the Hornets down the floor. Sweetland throws up a wild shot, but there's a foul before that.
Yeah, Jaden Smith, she's bumped into a couple players. She's a sophomore, and she's sometimes maybe her shoes are a little bit slick because she seems to lose her balance. And right here, she can't put on the brakes. She gets going and just stumbles into the Saline Hornet player.
Oh, a three-pointer from Sweetland was no good. Out of bounds off the Hornets. Well, it's River Rat basketball.
overall, this is a very young River Rat team as well. Only 4 seniors and a bunch of sophomores out here.
Drive on the baseline. Shot is up, no good, or is good by Jaden Smith.
That was sweet.
There's a quick entry pass to Stemmer, and she quickly puts the shot up and in. Near steal there by Saline. Three-pointer on the way. Off the mark, no good. Picked up by Stemmer, quickly down the floor to Sweetland, into the paint. She tries to put the shot up and gets hacked on the arm and draws the foul.
This is probably the nicest shot I've ever seen in a long time. Jaden Smith. Look at the English though, Pete.
Little circus shot there.
Yeah, and it looked like she was trying to flick it up towards the backboard, and it grabbed that rim and just rolled around.
That was all planned, I'm sure.
Why not?
Nicole Sweetland hits the first free throw for the Hornets.
I know what you're going to say to this question, Pete. Why do left-handed shooters look so sweet? It just looks different, you know?
Because they do.
Yeah, I know. You're a little biased.
Just a little. The drive down the lane, shot is off the rim, no good.
That's another Glenn.
Caden Glenn. She draws the foul and heads to the line. Oh, Caden Glenn, just a freshman. Or is it a fresh person?
No, she's a freshman. And
it's the first free throw.
She got the Fletch thing kind of going on with the blonde hair, too. She's 5'10" and 6'2" with the top of the hair kind of deal.
Second free throw is no good. Sweetland down the floor on the outlet. Puts the shot up. And it is blocked, but she gets the foul.
They called Johnson with the body on that call because it looked like Smith came away with all leather on the block. You see Smith trailing the play. She gets all ball. And I'm not even sure if Johnson had any body because it looked like the ball was out of the shooter's hand at that time.
Maybe a little bit of an anticipatory foul on the referee's part.
Just wanted to see another left-handed shooter at the foul line.
And Sweetland misses both free throws. Thrown away by the Hornets, and it'll be River at basketball.
Let's see here, 50. Leanne Lawson, I don't know where she was looking at that pass. She just gave up on it.
Oh, Rats with a commanding 20-point advantage. Under 2 minutes to go here in quarter number 3. River Rats patiently working their offense, really in no hurry. Don't need to be. Now drive down the lane, and traveling is the call on Jaden Smith. No timeout on the floor.
Coach Samaha is trying to get an explanation on that last call. He's just not too happy with the call that on one side of the floor is a foul. Another contact, similar, actually even more contact on the Huron player, and there is no call. And you can still Coach Samaha at the center court begging with the official to find out what's going on with that call in the corner. He's just not getting an explanation he's too happy with. These two are having a heated discussion. And this is what makes Coach Samaha a Hall of Fame coach. You're up 20 points, and you still want these officials to know and your players to know you're still in this game mentally and you're focused. And look at Coach Samaha. That's what these young ladies are experiencing. Now the coach saying, okay, let's sit on our laurels. We're up 20 points. That call doesn't matter because in a future game it will matter.
Right, exactly. 1:33 to go here in quarter number 3. Huron sets up in the press once again.
These are what coaches call little battles inside of a game, and they're teachable moments, and that's what Coach Samaha is really getting on these young players about, finishing.
Sweetland for 3. Misses everything.
I think that was near the outside door because a breeze came in and pushed it a little bit to the right a little bit.
We had a good view of that shot, and it was really kind of drifting to the right the whole time. And a foul called on Huron.
That's just a good play out of the Hornet player there, Sweetland. Forcing the action, driving strong on the baseline, and causing the official to blow that whistle.
Well, Sweetland will head to the line for 2. And misses the front end of the 1-and-1. Rebounded by Johnson. Johnson will bring it all the way down the floor. Now kick it back for the 3-pointer. That's off the mark, no good. Saved by Huron. Now picked up off the floor by Itzman. Her shot's no good. Sweetland's putback will count it. Under a minute to go here in quarter number 3. Now working a little bit of a weave here. Now Johnson with the set shot 3-pointer off the mark, no good. Offensive board by Alexander. We'll bring it back out top. Another 3-pointer on the way, that's off the mark. Another offensive board by Huron. Really good work on the offensive boards here by the River Rat ladies. Now knocked away, and the Hornets will bring it back down the floor. There's a quick shot, and it's good by Lawson. Now last shot on the way is off the mark and out of bounds, and that will do it for quarter number 3. A little bit of an offensive push at the very tail end of the quarter by Saline. They get it to a 46-30 lead by the Huron River Rats. We're going to take a quick break and be back here with more action here on CTN Sports.
I'm Dana Denta, host of FYI, and you can tune in Monday through Friday at 10, 6, and 10, only on CTN.
Saline ball out of bounds, just like the
And we're back with fourth-quarter action here on CTN Sports. A little 4-point run by the Hornets at the end of the third closes it down to just a 16-point lead for the River Rats. Now we have a whistle. Timeout was called by Saline before the turnover.
Yeah, sorry, Lindsay, for the Hornets. You can't pick up your dribble at the foul line, and I guarantee you that's what Coach Rome is going to speak with her about, because that's another defender. And you can see how the Rats swarmed on the Hornet offensive player right as she approached that line. Who are those guys in the background? Wow.
And she had no help either trying to get a bounce pass over the timeline and continue the Saline offense. And that was really a good play by the coach over there to call a timeout and kind of rescue her player.
Exactly.
The Hornets will inbound it right in front of us here on the near sideline.
It's a good crowd out here. Look at that tablecloth. Look at that, God.
Stemmer with the bounce pass.
Nice.
There's a shot up, and that's good by the Hornets.
This is the closest it's been since the first quarter, too.
14-point advantage by the River Rat, by the River Rat ladies. Entry pass to Johnson. Johnson with a wild shot. It doesn't go, but she does draw the foul.
Looks like she may have turned her ankle as well, too. She's walking a little gingerly on that left ankle. And you can see right here when we take a look at the replay, Stemmer trying to do some, fronting of the defender. And did a good job because didn't have any room there by Johnson to take that shot up clean.
And Johnson gets them to both go. Now that is off the foot of the Hornet player, out of bounds. Another turnover forced by that River Rat defense.
And that was really an unforced turnover. At that point, you need to gather yourself if you're the Hornet player and look for someone to pass it to.
That was Emily Eitzman. I think she was just trying to get over the timeline, but once over the timeline, Johnson was there to kind of shut off any more forward progress, and it went off her foot and out of bounds.
Well, what happens is the Huron wants you to bring that ball right over the timeline, and then they attack you.
Well, entry into Wambeer off the rim, no good. Another nice play design by the River Rat offense. Just can't get the bucket to go. Now Stemmer with the spin move. She can't get her shot to go, but she will draw the foul and head to the line.
Well, Stemmer did a good job there of setting that play up by rocking the ball to the center of the key and then coming back to the left side.
Throws off the front of the rim, no good.
Inside rock, drop.
Tried to scoop it and score it and could not get it to drop.
That away rim, not being kind.
Second free throw by Stemmer is good.
The offense runs for Huron so much more smooth when Danny's at the point.
Trying to deny the entry pass. Nice defensive play by the Hornets there.
Well, they've done it 3 times in a row. Come on now.
Nice save there. Right. And Stemmer can't get that ball to go down the rim, and just all alone there with the shot, and just couldn't get it to go.
Nice.
That was a jumper from Huron. That's good. Now saved by Saline, but right to Johnson. Johnson will take it down the lane. Off the rim, no good. There's a scoop shot, no good by the Hornets, rebounded by Wambeer.
Well, those are two ugly shots the last two times. Both teams need to calm down when they're getting in the paint there.
Just getting a little bit sloppy here.
Good
into
move.
Wambeer, and she knows what to do with it and puts it home for Huron.
Yeah, she gave a little chicken wing and kind of used that elbow to launch herself to the other side of the basket. Watch this little chicken wing she puts out here with her left arm. Got a little quick hook. Couldn't really see it from that angle, but good job of really power dribbling it up.
And Saline scores it on the other end. Yeah, and Huron remaining in control. There's a long three-pointer on the way by DiGiovanni, off the mark, picked up by Stemmer. Now into the corner for Sweetland for three, off the rim, no good. Offensive rebound, picked up and put back by Brooke Bauer for the Hornets.
Again, for the River Rats, it seems like they go to these lulls where they know they're a little bit better than their opponent and they take the foot off the gas pedal.
Drive on the baseline is off the mark, no good. Putback is no good. Rebounded by Saline.
Alex Lyon on both of those shots, one of those talented sophomores.
And Sweetland is fouled, bringing it up the floor. That's the one nice thing about the wholesale changes by Huron is that when they do get fouls, they have a lot of fouls to give, and it's spread out amongst all the girls so that it really, other than Glenn, the Huron girls aren't in any foul trouble.
Not at all. And you would think they would have more fouls by the aggressive style as well. But in the first half, the refs were very, let's just say, liberal with the whistle until Coach Rome for the Hornets got in their ear and worked them to get those fouls called for her team.
Well, Sweetland hits the first. Second one is on the way, and it's pure through the hoop. Once again, those Hornets creeping just a little bit closer, only down 13. 3:45 to go here in the fourth quarter.
The Hornets have gone to a man defense to try to pick up the pace.
While the River Rats can be patient on offense, it's up to the Hornets to really push the action, get more aggressive on defense.
Well, they are, because Huron has no reason to start putting up crazy shots.
Stemmer went for the steal. They tried to force it a little bit, but we got a whistle. And a foul on Saline.
I think that was on Lawson. Huron still not in the bonus. 5 team fouls against the Hornets. The drop.
Oh, Wambeer just can't get it to drop. That ball was down, and it came out of the hoop. Out down the floor. That's held in by the Hornets.
I think Coach Samaha is going to be doing some layup drills at practice tomorrow.
Now Stemmer drives baseline and gets the jumper to go.
This is stymied. This is down, counting the two. And then Wambeer, I love her reactions to that ball not finding its home.
And a long three-pointer by Patel is good. That breaks the scoring drought for the River Rats. A long one by Sweetland is no good. Put back. That's off the bottom of the rim. And we have a whistle. It's out of bounds. It'll be Huron basketball.
Well, you know Patel, she is one of the only shooters out here on the floor that has an actual jump shot. You can see her lift and release the ball at the right height. You can tell she has a scoring flow to her game. Good drop.
trying to get it into Wambeer again. Her shot's blocked, but she draws the foul and will head to the line.
She's had a great second half, Wambeer. She came out really aggressive, and the entire Huron team have been doing a good job of getting the ball inside the paint. If she could just make a couple more of these not free throws, but some of these layups.
Yeah, if she had finished her shot a couple of times, she'd probably have a good 4 or 6 more points.
Yeah.
Both free throws are missed by Wambeer. Now the Hornets finally get it over the timeline. Now shot is put up, misses everything. Wambeer will pick it up. Gets it down to Patel down the floor. She's going to drive it. It's knocked away from her and out of bounds. Huron will keep it.
I'm wondering what the big smile on Patel's face was about. Maybe she thought she should have gone to the backside or the reverse on that shot. You can see she was thinking score all the way, and this big smile comes on her face. Yeah, he got me.
Well, three-pointer on the way for Huron, off the mark. Wambeer with the offensive board. Putback is off the rim, no good. But she's really working hard in this game.
Sweetland is really working hard. Good job getting down on the floor.
There's a quick shot by Saline, and it's good by Lawson.
And if we had another quarter here, because I just don't think there's enough time left on the clock for the Hornets, they're playing a great second half.
They've had a better offensive set this half, certainly.
Yeah, and the River Rats aren't helping out the cause by missing free throws, as well as some of these, the bunnies that they're putting in the paint, not dropping.
Wambeer draws the foul once again. Cannot get the free throw to drop. 58.7 seconds to go in the game.
It's her last night, senior night, and she's just having a tough game. At the line.
Cannot get the second one to go either. Patel picks it up off the floor, and her shot is good. Another near steal there by Huron on the press. Hornets get it over the timeline. Another wild throw out of bounds. Another turnover on the Hornets. Approaching the final 30 seconds of the game.
Yeah, they're just going to take the air out of it now.
DiGiovanni with the jumper, no good. Put back by Glenn is good. And Walid Samaha will call timeout with 19.3 seconds to go. Still teaching his students.
Yeah, and this again is where Coach Samaha is looking for the future. See Coach Phillips there on the sidelines. And the Hornets, they got to feel good about the way they played the second half. They come out here down 20. They knock this thing down almost into single digits. That's something you can build upon, especially you're going in a top-rated team's gym on the senior night. It was a tough build.
The River Rats ranked 9th in the state at 10-1. Really a tough matchup as another turnover by the Hornets. And this one from three.
That's the last senior.
Adela Baranova gets on the floor and gets the score, and that'll top it as the Huron River Rats come away with the 61-43 victory here on their home floor in the greenhouse. We're going to take a quick break and be back with more right here on CTN Sports.
Welcome back to CTN's Game of the Week. I'm joined now by Coach Samaha. Coach, that was a good game. I mean, you're on senior night. You guys came to play. Tell me a little bit about what you think you learned from your team tonight.
Well, I liked our defensive energy in spurts. We want to be able to sustain that for a longer period of time. We moved the ball well against their zone. We anticipated they may zone us to try to slow us down a little bit, but I thought we moved the ball well. We shot it pretty well. I give them credit though. They competed all the way through, and they're young, and they'll have a lot of players back, and they're well coached. Clearly, they're well coached. So it was a good game for us to fight through some of our lulls when we weren't executing well on both ends, and for them to fight back against us, and then for us to kind of close it out.
Shamim, her last time playing on the court here, senior night, I should say. Boy, that rim was not kind to her on a couple of those layups.
Yeah, I mean, the one she missed at the end, I don't know how that didn't go in. I got to check the physics book on that, but I thought for sure that was going to go in. I think everyone thought that was going in, and it just fell out at the end. But she's had a great career here, and had another great night for us tonight, especially on the defensive end, rebounding, blocked some shots, got some rebounds, started our break. So she's had a stellar career, as did Michaela and Danny. And then our exchange student, Adela, hit the 3 at the buzzer, which was really nice for her.
Yeah, really nice to have all seniors score on senior night, man.
Yeah. Well, Danny got us started early, and Michaela, they really got us going early, and then everybody else picked it up from there.
Well, congratulations again on a great win.
Thank you. Thanks, sir.
We'll close out the broadcast and send it back to you, Pete.
Once again, the final from the greenhouse. It's Huron 61 and Saline 43. I'd like to thank all the people that make this production possible. Our director, Rob Cross. Auto replay by Jill Andrews. CG Ops by Jamie Chu. And our camera guys, Robert Hornbacker and Gage Shaughnessy. For Kevin Bryant, this is Pete Poyer. From the greenhouse, it's Huron 61 and Saline 43.